All right, everyone, I am going to show you how to make burnt ends. From popular demand, this is the point of the brisket. Normally you would see the point is up here, the flat would be right here. This is the part that you slice up thin, and when you get to the big fatty part, that's the part that makes for good burnt ends. So we basically are going to chunk this up into cubes and make some good little meaty morsels. So we'll give you a little demonstration here. We'll just start cutting this up. This actually was cooked yesterday and we put it in the refrigerator. It makes it a lot easier to cut up, and you can see how fat that is. So we're going to do that. I'm going to come back here in a little bit and show you exactly what we've got after we chunk all this up. All right, you see how we're doing that? These are going to be so good, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. All right, we'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, I'm back. So you can see we've chunked all this up, and I do like to do it cold because when you do it cold, it just cuts easier. You can do it when it's warm, right after you've cooked the brisket, but I prefer to do it the next day. The next thing we're going to do is re-season it. So we're going to put this Weber Smoky Brown Sugar Rub back on these what will be burnt ends, and that will help give it a real glazy appearance and taste. So I'm going to do that now. Okay, like I mentioned, this brown, smoky brown rub. I'm going to put some of that in here, just like that. You can kind of see, make it pretty good. And just like maybe you're mixing meatloaf or anything else, you just kind of cover it nicely. Put a little more in. I mean, you just want it to, you want it to be coated nicely like that. And then when this is all done, it's going to go back onto the big green egg, but in a cast iron skillet. You'll see how that works in just a little bit. Put a little more in. And once again, it's cold, so it's just sticking nice to it. You don't have to do it cold, but I think the best results is that. So you maybe eat the flat on a Saturday afternoon, and then cook up your burnt ends for a Sunday afternoon. You can't go wrong with that. All right, we're getting there. All right, it's probably a little bit more. Because remember, a lot of that the middle pieces don't have any seasoning on them. The outside pieces do, from the original cook. And the good thing about burnt ends is that it's almost like pork butt. It's really hard to screw it up. Really hard to screw it up. So the brisket, you could do a crappy job on the flat end of the brisket, but yet still have a nice point to deal with. All right, I think we're in good shape. Take a peek at that. All right, next time you see these, they're going to be going on the big green egg. Okay, we're out at the big green egg, and I'm getting ready to fire it up. Not a lot of lump charcoal. If you put a lot in, that's good for slow cooks. If you want a quick hot cook, which we're going to do with the burnt ends, small amount of charcoal. And then I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of hickory wood in, but I'm going to do that right when I get started. Again, when I close the lid, that'll help give it additional smoky flavor. So looking forward to it. We'll be back in a few minutes when we put these boogers on. Okay, you can see the charcoal is good and hot. We've got the grate on, and I'm going to put some of this hickory in there, and then we're going to put the burnt ends right on. Okay, here we are. The skillet has been on for a few minutes. We have the hickory chips on. We have our chunks of brisket ready to go on. So we're gonna, and you don't put anything in the skillet. The fat and everything will actually start to caramelize that. So we're gonna load this sucker up with the brisket, and we'll be back to show you more. Okay, you can see some of the brisket's on now. Not all of it, but a good part of it's on. And we're going to let that cook for a little bit until we get it good and crispy. I'll shut the lid. We'll come back and check it. You can really see it cooking now. And see what I mean? You don't need to put any oil in because of all the fat. You can start to see that crispy. Yeah. And you go a little bit. And you keep cooking. Like I said, you can't hardly overcook these things or mess them up. That's why they call them burn-ins. Alright, you're going to love it when I glaze it with the Sweet Baby Ray's here in a few minutes. Keep that up. There we go. Alright, let's check back in a few minutes. Okay, next step. We're going to put a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's on there. And then we're going to actually mix that up. Get it good and get it all covered. Let them cook a little bit longer, and let's pull them off. Alright, let's take a look. Look at those babies, boys. That's what you call burn-ins. Alright, we're going to start taking them off. Put them over here in the pan. I like to kind of get the grease stripped off if you can. Alright. Man, that's really good. Okay, so I'm going to take the rest of these off, and then we'll be back for the taste test. Okay, we're going to take a look. Take that right there. Heaven. Bye.